So you're about to send your first PR campaign. Congrats. But there's a bunch of things that you need to consider right before you pitch it that will sometimes make or break your campaign. So the first thing is timing. Make sure that when you are sending the email, it is being sent at a time that a journalist is ready to receive it. Sometimes it's very difficult to know exactly when to send an email, but if it can arrive to a journalist's inbox somewhere between 7 to 9 a.m., they are more likely to read it than if it's midway through the day. Sometimes you can't help it and it's a pressing story and you have to pitch it at that time. Some freelance journalists work on different schedules. If you build relationships with journalists, they will tell you. You can also inquire over certain publications, morning meeting times, and you want to pitch it before that morning meeting, but it really does depend on the type of campaign you're running, the relationships you've built, and how long you've been in the industry. Keep your eyes out for the open times. There's a lot of software out there that tells you when your emails are being opened, like BuzzStream, for example, and catering more and more to the publication and the journalist's working habits will help you land more and more coverage. Maybe making your follow-up at a different time, at a different day, thinking of the publication cadence. Some publications pitch on the weekends, some avoid the weekends altogether. So the day and time needs to be carefully chosen. There's a lot of reports out there around which times journalists like, and we will put a bunch of those in the description. But it's also very important for you to test and use your own information for the types of journalists that you are contacting. That being said, the fact that there's no perfect time doesn't mean that you can't optimize for that time. So make sure to keep that in mind before you send anything out. And that brings me to my second point. If you're sending out a pitch that involves different time zones, different types of journalists, make sure to stagger your outreach accordingly. A lot of the time people will just take the media list, push it out, not consider the different time zones that people are in. So if you're in the United States, there's 4 different time zones that you have to cater towards. And if you're doing a piece that involves different types of publications, some people might be living in a different country. So making sure that you tailor to their time zone and stagger your outreach accordingly is much better than if you just bulk import the list and then push it out without giving it a second thought. It's also incredibly vital to read the news every day. If a tragedy happens and you're pitching a story that feels very insensitive, it will not get picked up. And journalists might even think that you might be making fun of the situation. You can't really predict what's going to happen in the news, and you can't predict how your headline is going to be interpreted within the light of new news coming out. So if someone passes away and your story in some form of way makes light of that, then it might reflect badly on you and the work that you do and your client. So it's very important to read the news and make sure that nothing major has happened before you push out the story. And finally, make sure that you tailor the email to the way that journalists in that region like to receive it. There's different publications that like different types of headlines. Some people in the US like the relationship building element of a pitch email, so you might want to personalize it a bit more. In the UK, for example, they're less picky, so you could just literally say hi and then paste your story. So make sure that you understand the people that you are pitching towards and cater to how they receive information, not how you want to pitch the information. And now it's time to actually pitch your story, but it's incredibly vital to follow a few different best practices after you pitched your story to maximize the chances of success. And if you want to learn more about these, you can watch this video right here.